The Rock made his presence felt at WWE Bad Blood, and the speculation has already begun. The final boss chose the opportune time to return, interrupting a great moment between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Now, many are wondering what his next move is. Considering the backstage video he posted following the event, it's clear that The Rock has an issue with Cody Rhodes. This could even extend to Roman Reigns, given the right situation. So with so much animosity to go around, the question is, where will it all be settled? Well, considering the unpredictable nature of this premium live event, Survivor Series, War Games may be the best stage to settle things. So here are 3 reasons why The Rock should compete in the match at Survivor Series. Fantasy booking is a thing of beauty, and more often than not, fans book some incredible matches online. One of the matches that has been making the rounds on social media for a while is a Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games match. In most cases, it's The Rock's group taking on Roman Reigns' group. Seeing the final boss take on the OTC inside the hellish structure would be nothing short of amazing. First of all, this would be Rock's first ever experience with the match. Finally, considering all the stars that could be involved, it would be incredibly fun to watch. Survivor Series holds a special place in The Rock's heart. After all, it was at the 1996 edition of the PLE where the WWE Universe was introduced to a then happy-go-lucky Rocky Mavia. Now, 28 years later, the final boss couldn't have picked a better moment to make his emphatic return. Given his history with the PLE, it would be criminal if he did not participate. At the age of 52, there is no telling how many years Rock has left as an in-ring performer. So the creative should the star while they can and have him present and ready with his wrestling gear in Vancouver, Canada. Historically, WWE has always ended the calendar year with Survivor Series as its last major PLE. Well, 2024 is going to be no different, and considering this, Triple H and WWE would try to end the year with a bang. So what better way to do so than to have The Rock involved in the event? The 2023 edition saw Randy Orton's return from a long injury, and most importantly, CM Punk's return after a 9-year absence. While there is no telling if there will be any surprising returns, WWE can ensure some huge reactions by having the final boss involved. In fact, it would be all the more buzzworthy if he ended up losing on the night. Few names in the history of WWE carry as much weight and legacy as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a transcendent figure in both the world of professional wrestling and Hollywood. The Rock's influence on the industry is undeniable. While he spent much of the last decade focusing on his booming film career, his sporadic returns to WWE continue to ignite unparalleled excitement. As WWE heads into its annual Survivor Series event in 2024, the anticipation for the War Games match, a brutal, chaotic contest within 2 rings surrounded by a steel cage, is already at a fever pitch. However, to make this year's event truly iconic, there's one major ingredient that WWE must add: The Rock. Here are 3 compelling reasons why The Rock must compete in the War Games match at WWE Survivor Series 2024. The Bloodline storyline has been one of WWE's most gripping and compelling narratives in recent years. Led by Roman Reigns, the dominant Universal Champion, the faction has seen its fair share of betrayals, family feuds, and power struggles. However, a critical component has always been the absence of The Rock, Roman's real-life cousin, and a figure who looms large in any conversation about family dynasties in wrestling. Throughout the storyline, WWE has teased the idea of The Rock stepping in to confront Roman Reigns. The tribal chief gimmick that Reigns has adopted is centered around his claim to be the head of the Inoue family, the greatest Samoan wrestling family. But if there's one person who could truly challenge Reigns' claim to that title, it's The Rock, who helped build the family's legacy in WWE long before Reigns rose to power. A War Games match at Survivor Series could serve as the ultimate battleground for this family drama. Imagine a War Games match with the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and others, facing off against a team led by The Rock. This would not only offer a thrilling conclusion to the storyline, but it could also elevate Survivor Series 2024 to an unforgettable event in WWE history. The Rock's involvement would give fans closure to the long-running speculation about his role in the Bloodline saga. Whether he wins or loses, The Rock stepping into the cage would be the climactic moment this storyline deserves, and there is no better stage for it than War Games, where chaos, drama, and physicality reach their zenith. One of the greatest challenges WWE faces in any era is the transition between established legends and the stars of tomorrow. WWE has a strong roster of up-and-coming talents, but bringing in a legend like The Rock in 2024 can do wonders to bridge that gap, offering younger talents the opportunity to rub shoulders with a global megastar and cement their places in the eyes of the audience. A War Games match typically features multiple competitors, creating space for key WWE figures to share the spotlight. By having The Rock join the match, you not only ensure a significant draw for the event, but you also give younger stars an incredible platform. The Rock can team up with or square off against some of WWE's most promising talents, such as Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, or even rising stars like LA Knight. These younger wrestlers would benefit immensely from being in the ring with The Rock, whose presence brings a credibility and mainstream exposure that few can match. Incorporating The Rock into this environment would ensure that Survivor Series is not just about nostalgia, but also about the future. It could create memorable moments where fans get to see legends clash with modern stars, further cementing the passing of the torch. A War Games team featuring The Rock could elevate the status of younger stars by association, showing that WWE's future is in good hands. For fans, seeing The Rock lock horns with today's stars is a dream come true, a fusion of eras. A moment like that can only happen in a match as grand and chaotic as War Games, and it's the perfect opportunity for WWE to write another chapter in its storied history of cross-generational clashes. 3. The Rock's Hollywood star power meets WWE's premium product. The Rock's global popularity and success in Hollywood make him one of the biggest draws WWE could ever hope to have for any event. His transition from wrestling icon to box office juggernaut has brought an entirely new level of mainstream appeal to WWE every time he steps back into the squared circle. Bringing The Rock into the War Games match at Survivor Series 2024 would elevate the event to new heights of cultural relevance, attracting casual viewers and non-wrestling fans alike. Survivor Series has always been one of WWE's Big Four pay-per-views, but the inclusion of War Games has pushed its importance even higher. However, adding The Rock into the mix would make it feel less like a wrestling event and more like a major cultural happening, something that transcends the typical wrestling audience. Imagine the buzz leading up to the event, the mainstream media coverage, and the crossover appeal as The Rock returns to his wrestling roots in a match with such historical significance. The stakes in War Games are always high, with brutal consequences for the participants. But when you throw The Rock into the mix, the stakes go beyond just winning or losing a match. His involvement would be seen as a major pop culture moment, further bridging the gap between professional wrestling and Hollywood. This would, in turn, bolster WWE's appeal and ensure Survivor Series 2024 stands out as a monumental event, not just in wrestling but in entertainment as a whole. Beyond the spectacle, there's also the commercial aspect. The Rock's presence would undoubtedly lead to higher ticket sales, pay-per-view buys, and Peacock subscriptions, generating significant revenue for WWE. His influence could draw new eyes to WWE's product, enticing even the most casual fans to tune in for what promises to be a once-in-a-lifetime match.